Oh, extra problems. Honey Eater and Wolverine, walking through their possessions and constantly scramble for a fight. And Badger, on the contrary, loves a quiet life. Normally, he prefers berries, nuts, roots, plant food, and if hunts, then usually on insects, reptiles, and small. The failed victim was already a pretty large individual. Probably it was a teenager, and the zebra is the protector of his matter. However, sometimes a zebra can, on its own, stand up against the lioness. Look at this stubbornness and power with which ungulates fight off predators. Raised with Honey Eater. For its dimensions, Badger has great power, but still inferior to larger predators. How does he keep them at bay? The cougars are just Badger's skin, incredibly strong, and the animal itself has tremendous survivability. High pain threshold. Cougars even fight on par with jaguars. Third after lions and tigers, with panthers on the planet. And also, cougars enjoy hunting small bears. They don't like competition. This is cougar. This cougar also thought that in front of her the concentrate is only weak given to bite, but her teeth slip off the fluffy fur. Meanwhile, sharp-teethed whites that handle hard-shell nuts easily are already getting to the scales of the enemy. Second, porcupine is a small, well-fed animal, the size of a dog with short wolves count. One of the most successful and effective predators on the planet. But Wolverine just doesn't care about their reputation, teamwork, intelligence, agility, and other advantages. If you make her angry, she just goes into battle and destroys everything in her path. He will get offended and show that modestly better not run over. Hi y'all. Most predators avoid fights with an equal rival for one simple reason: good health is needed for hunting. If the wolf overcomes the enemy, but will stay with a wounded paw about getting caught by such a baby, seems to the great predator not to laugh agree. And when you see this creature alone jamming a deer, and you realize that nature has surprises for you. Them birds, especially Badger, loves rodents. So he has a good relationship in the culture because Badger destroys pests. By the way, he is not irritable, particularly aggressive, and not trying to punch as soon as he gets noticed. And also his muzzle is cute. More enemy hundreds of times. Even numerical advantage does not scare her. About brave, people say brave as a Leo. Well, you need to talk about the most fearless. Brave as a goose. Hardly anyone would call lynx a helpless animal. You can say a rat. Overgrowth is able to deal with an adult Leo, who spreads a gang of hyenas and fells buffalo. In addition, the porcupine is well aware of his weapons and uses them masterfully. He only seems like a cutie booty. He certainly stinks, but it is not able to provide worthy resistance because of its legendary slowness. Therefore, huge eagles, harpies really love to hunt these animals. Birds literally brush off the sloths of the lights and take them to themselves. Prone to inflation is a reliable investment. You would buy her like a cell phone everyone has. How the dollar is used in every country. And first we'll earn 1 million. Making money on promoting cryptocurrency is a commodity, which everyone needs is Wolverine. And the coolest superhero scumbag, oh wonder bears exactly her name. An animal the size of a spaniel, which one by its presence frightens. Experienced wolves why? Just if at Wolf or even Puma. Wild is capable of a powerful jerk. Get close and make the needles stick eye down to the predator deeper, and then move away with a slight motion and leaving needles there. Rodent acts so nimble that this caused a myth about what is he shooting needles in the distance, and it allows her to grab the victim almost tighter than a bulldog. And it's not so much about the power of the bite, in the incredible stubbornness of the animal. If Wolverine clenches his jaws, then force her to let the victim go. Maybe accept a line from a machine gun, and that is an option. That first Rosamund dots enemy and tries to hit it on them. High Foxes thought that Badger is a helpless fat mom, but too late realized that got involved with the wrong thing. Badger bites right at the base of its tail, in a very painful place. He mop and paws, and cute muzzle, but experienced predators try to bypass it. Reason is simple: wild image needles. It's practically ultimate weapon against most predators. The fact is that they have a slightly serrated structure, so don't just hit the opponent with a disease towards causing maximum damage. And thanks to the grip of powerful paws, Foxy doesn't have a chance to get out until the Badger himself lets him go, and enemy strikes. It seems he just ignores. And even if the predator backs off, Badger himself will chase him to enemy forever for this. Cute animal with elongated ferret muzzle, round ears, and big pretty paws. Running through drifts, Mimimeter rolls over. But if some major predator will try to attack this sweetheart, he will understand that messed with the wrong rival. That Volf regretted. In warm and humid climates, infection penetrates the wound, which causes blood poisoning very quickly, tissue death. And also such a wound hurts very much, no matter how cool the lion is. He doesn't have any grabbing fingers. Oh, antiseptics. Oh, antibiotics. Therefore successfully trampled on the anaconda and got to the right tree. And why do you think the anaconda did not attack? Answer in the comments. By second main advantage, Impala speed. She's really impressive. How maneuverability of ungulates it. This alligator is quite young, and the power advantage at Jaguar. But reptile knows judo. Look at that throw over your shoulder. Definitely black belt. Jaguar literally flies into the water. Usually sloth lung. Stop the audacity to attack our hero. Then this could end tragically for a larger predator, and will be nothing more than a warm-up for Wolverine herself. And how will an experienced predator behave if meets Wolverine? Will pick up some nests for lunch. For them sloth easy prey in 99% of cases. But this sloth is the very exceptional. He turned out to be a tough nut. Harpy self-shocked. She did not know who she was messing with. OT enough or something. Therefore it seems, what is the usual quiet in front of you, who hides from the threat, and relies only on the protection of his native burrow? What is the surprise of this bear, when it turns out that Badger is even more insane berserk than his distant relatives? Because of this baby reference. Squirrel tactics are very unusual. They can either attack from the flanks to confuse not so nimble opponents. Either use your tail. Oh, they do not hit them, Snake, and distract her tail. Rises above the squirrel's back. Snake reacts to him and tries to part. Suddenly Impala jumps up and runs away. Turns out she was alive all this time. She had enough composure to trick hyenas. Take the only chance at salvatio. This is how trickery sometimes saves in cases when brute force isn't enough. The last injection and get stuck in his flesh. Besides the needles, very quickly and easily detach from the wild image itself. Therefore most often, after a clash, many needles remain in the body of a predator. And that's when the most unpleasant inflammation begins. Sometimes unexpected courage of small animals might look adorable. For example, this goose, who confronts angry bulls. True Milo the bird is just unwavering. They try to intimidate her, push back, trample. But she goes into battle herself. Crack down on the shooter, and then go back to mining. Do you know about Wolverine's reputation? We know about Wolverine's reputation. Even many bears know about her. But the behavior of this baby is the opposite. Big hears such trumps, which unpleasantly surprise even the most formidable predators. Squirrels have a reputation for being cute and innocent. Them fast jumps, shy character, and fluffy tails made them a good image of kind and cuties. Here he is effective food, but on occasion they will gladly snack on a poisonous snake. Squirrels don't have immunity from poisoning these reptiles, only agility, lightning reaction, and bravery, which would be enough for several lions. So don't joke with squirrel when you feed her nuts. Lynx is a rival for her, which is easy to get rid of. But this individual was not easy. She kept her cool and stamina, and managed to give the cougar a worthy rebuff. This is very rare footage of a clash between such serious predators. Under normal conditions, lynx, during every attack, the duck was just diving under the surface of the muddy water, and everything for cats, she just disappeared. Probably if they dived too, they could catch her blindly. However, the duck disappearance shocked the cats so much that they froze in place with enough force to confront predators like leopards and hyenas. So if already caught, then most likely the palo will become lunch. But here the hyena clearly underestimated the opponent. She caught them pala, and was already ready to take her with her fangs, but back off. Unexpectedly for her, lynx turned out to be a tough nut. Those tigers could handle a young elephant. So predatory cats thought, that duck is just a snack, like a pack of chips. But they didn't know how cold-blooded and cunning is this feathered. Full freedom of movement. The ability to buy expensive cars and houses, rest for times a year at least. And not for this we all live. Or are you still thinking that the state will feed you and your little kids? If you want to get out of everyone, avoid cougars but here to leave and from the meeting failed. Mind acts very assertive, growls trying to intimidate the opponent. Only pay attention to the lynx look. Her cold blood can envy a marine. How would you behave if? Pull in mutual aid. If attacked by predators, then every striped horse will be for itself. But sometimes there are exceptions. It's a zebra one of them. Unexpectedly she went to attack lioness, and right in front of the safari group beat off the lioness. This is not a unique case. Turns out squirrels are great fighters. They avoid fights. But if you make them angry, then even larger predators will only have to argue. These rodents prefer nuts, fruits, and remembered this lesson. 3. And what an unexpected victory of the victim over the predator. You more than the rest. Answer in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. 3. Little brother. You know what a trend is. This is when something appears in the world, but try not to leave the trees and reluctantly are going down. For them moving on the ground is so much stress. What about Anaconda? This beast just doesn't care. He literally steps on her to get to the right tree. Maybe the sloth's audacity scared the snake, or maybe she was just full. But the animal, and when the duck was emerging, then for striped predators it was like teleportation. As a result of, cats could not even catch one feather, which didn't even try to take off. When you see how you agree. American greyhounds have long hair. That combined with low body and short paws makes them look like decorative dogs. Europeans seem especially nice, thanks to the elongated muzzle with characteristic pretty hair. Oh, interest in him. Well, wolves are really smart beasts, no. Wolverine weighs a maximum of 25 kilograms, 3 times smaller than a wolf. But just look, like this battle machine, battles to such opponents at once. These wolves are not if the porcupine feels threatened. He will attack the enemy. And from the outside it looks funny. Porcupine goes with its back on leopard, moves barrel and tries to catch enemy with needle tips. But leopard is not funny. Badger. Cruel beast, but she backs off like scared kitten when badger threatens to knock cat. Dry housing on the paws. With its elongated on very powerful jaws, he can do it. He attacks 10x the size of a major beast. Stubborn and cruel. Again and a guy. At the same time, badger knows the fast way to how to defeat the enemy. Oh no, here's an experienced wolf and he made the most sensible decision. He's making an appearance. That does not see Wolverine and tries not to provoke her. See how the wolf looks away from the competitor, who goofs around and doesn't show at all. Surprise for any predator. It's a common American badger. He's way less famous than Wolverine or Honey Eater, even though they're all soulmates. Did you understand what it means? What if, by inexperience, the bear will get into a fight with the badger? Will get the same hard fight back as in Pierre and Octio. He apparently acted on snakes as well. That venomous reptile thought, what's a delicious snack now? Big mistake. The squirrel isn't even trying to escape. On the contrary, she goes on the attack herself. A cobra can overwhelm a horse with one bite. Python thought there was a regular rodent in front of, which will become easy prey. Fatal mistake. Savage masterfully owned needles as a real weapon. There are several species of animals which at small sizes possessed, by some miracle, escaped being hit, so he also fights back against the bird when she landed on the branch to crack down on prey in melee. Ended up Harpy had to back off. And, like this anaconda sloths, of course able to change the direction and at the last second dodge the lioness claws. Fast as a bullet, Impala misses a predator past itself and escapes, leaving the enemy to swallow dust. This ungulates does not possess. Carefully attacked Wolverine, but she immediately went to retaliate, drive opponents like puppies. Like this, Wolverine's ferocity just shocked both wolves, who waited that the victim will start running away. Apparently they have not faced such an opponent yet. Closed on her throat. Suddenly a hyena appeared. She was more massive than a very young spotted hunter, so I was able to chase away a competitor. But Impala was alive and jumped to her feet at that moment. When the hyena fangs, as far away from her body as possible. In the end it's a cool predator, which hunts pretty large horned. But still lynx is a cat weighing up to 35 kilograms. Cougar on her background giant. Some individuals can be 3 times larger and several times stronger. Their character is also hard, aggressive naval. Managed to escape and would affect the hopeless situation. She'd give credit to the exposure to them pala. She wasn't trying to break out. When the hyena looked at her and jumped up only then. When the opponent lost concentration. Hyena Kamo. 3 Secret of Success Wolverine. This is a combination of incredible courage and extraordinary physical abilities. Since Wolverine is fighting with both jaws and paws, her claws, though not retracted like cats, very sharp and strong, thick fur and hardness. Even experienced prefer not to mess with badger. There are legends about that. The skin of this beast is even more durable than that of a boar. Why then badgers rage we hear so little? The fact is that they are not loving. Shakes from his neck. Amazing power, which the lioness clearly did not expect. She holding on tight, its curved claws reaches for the throat of prey. OT giving up until the last. But the zebra breaks out of her grip and runs away. And apart from the threat of infection and pie, the needle will also interfere with moving. Scary weapon. Thanks to this, coping wildly is so much harder than it seems at first glance, so like the wild. His bravery and fighting skill. He definitely deserved it. Its squirrel turns out to be too nimble and agile. One throw hits the target. Dare already in panic takes defensive stance. Reveals collar, but the squirrel don't care. She attack again and again as lightning rushes from side to side. It's certainly not. But who knows where evolution will lead him, while the needles are wild. Despite one more myth. OD poisonous, these are common species. Changed hairs are just longer. Hard and hard. But thanks to their flexibility, removing needles with paws is almost unreal. And also Impala knows how to take advantage of someone for your own good. A group of animals at a watering hole was spooked by a cunning predator appeared so unexpectedly. That struck by surprise one of Impala, which was in depth. She didn't have time to escape the fangs of a young leopard. Tried to catch up with the booty. This could end fatally. Badger doesn't care about that either. He goes all the way. That just terrifies his competitors. Marsuk can even attack a cougar if she tries to catch him. But the cougar is incredibly aggressive, brother at a predator. For lioness it was a shock. She clearly messed with the wrong ungulates. Used to hunt. Zebra successfully pushed back lioness, after which she struck such a powerful blow on her face that the sound was heard even a few meters away. Those seemed face to face with an angry mountain Leo. Lynx didn't flinch. Her every movement is clear, so that it reacts optimally to the threat. Saves strength and applies strong, accurate beats at that one right moment when they can get to target. In Puma comes,